What is up, guys, and welcome back to the middle of Skywars, because I was recording something else and realized I went on way too much of a jumbled mess for me to actually continue coherently. Of course, I love Skywars. So today I'm going to be talking about parents that actually go through their kids' phones, because it seems sort of like, I don't know, it seems sort of like something that happens way too often, and I think it's completely wrong, and I don't know where else I would complain about it. So let's go. So, if you guys didn't know, there are parents that go through people's phones, and you guys probably already did know that, because you probably have a friend, or maybe your parent does that, and if so, I feel forever sorry for you, because I feel like a parent looking through their kid's phone for texts sort of seems, it seems like an invasion of privacy, and it's either an invasion of privacy, it's two levels of invasion of privacy, in my opinion, because it's invasion of privacy for the kid whose mom or dad is looking through their text messages. And it's also invasion of privacy to the people that are texting you. Like, I have friends that I have texted before, and then later they're like, yeah, my mom thinks that you're like a real potty mouth because you know, you text swears. And I'm like, but why is she looking at the text? And they don't tell me, like, so much later on that their mom looks through their texts. And I'm like, well, you should at least warn me, because now I don't even know what she's seeing. And, like, your mom seems pretty cool. It's like, have you ever said something that you wouldn't want an adult to hear? That's, like, to a friend. It's sort of like that, but now an adult knows about it. And there's not really much you can, oh my god, that was brilliant. I saw that was a block missing, and I was like, is this a trap? And then I saw it, but I don't really know. It just seems sort of like an invasion of privacy in that respect, especially if the kid doesn't bother to tell, you know, the person texting them, hey, my mom looks through my text, be careful. Then again, I could feel bad for the kid, because then nobody's gonna want to text them, because they're like, oh, your mom's looking through this seems awkward. And I can't find a legitimate reason as of now. Like, there are a couple, I mean, I guess there are legitimate reasons for you to look through a phone like that, but it still seems very, very dumb, in my opinion, because you're only gonna find stuff, you're gonna find a bunch of boring stuff, and you're gonna find stuff that you don't necessarily want to know, or that you don't really care about knowing. Like, the only reason I could ever see a parent looking through somebody's phone is if, like, they don't want them, like, looking up inappropriate things, and then it seems a little bit more reasonable, but even in my opinion, I wouldn't care as a parent. And one funny thing about this is that I've talked to kids of parents that do this, and they all say that for some reason, they all defend their parents, and like, well, what if we were buying drugs? They're just protecting us. And I'm like, but you're not. And, like, it seems sort of like you would, you don't seem like the kind of kids, like, if something seems suspicious, right? Like, if I had a kid, and the kid was, like, coming home late with no explanation, then sure, yeah, maybe I would look through their phone to be like, are they, like, seriously selling drugs? But if they were just randomly coming back from school, having a nice day, talking with some friends, I feel like you're only gonna find gossip that you don't actually care about, and it's just gonna, like, make your kids seem worse than they really are. Like, imagine the worst thing that your friend has texted you. Like, imagine if you were texting your friend about a crush that you had, right? And then you're like, you know, it's awkward. You don't want your parents to know about that, right? Then your parents look through your texts, and you're like, well, now this is known. And it's like an elephant in the room that you don't want to deal with. It just, like, and that's, like, it probably won't happen that necessarily wouldn't happen, but it just sort of seems like, I don't know, it seems like the sort of thing that just shouldn't need to happen. Like, you shouldn't have to worry about that. And I remember talking with my mom about this, because I was like, this seems really dumb. And she was saying that when she was young, you know, they didn't have text messages, but the problem was, but back then they just had, like, they just called each other. So if you had, like, a boyfriend or a girlfriend, something like that, you guys would just call for, like, hours and hours and whatever, like, on the home phone. And she said that, like, never did, like, a parent, like, choose to listen in on that, because that just seemed like an invasion of privacy and just kind of rude. This person made a grave error. Is he even gonna hit me? No. It was a beautiful pickaxe. But I don't know, it seems completely dumb to me. I don't know if any of you guys have parents that do this, or, I mean, if it happens to you, I feel incredibly bad, because that seems like it would suck. And also, it's partially the reason why a lot of people use apps like Discord and stuff, and like Snapchat, because a lot of the parents, they can't check Snapchat history or texts, right, because of that. And it's kind of sad for me to think about it like that, because it just seems sort of like the wrong reason for you to be using Snapchat is because, like, you don't want your parents to, I don't know, it just seems sort of dumb. Although I've learned, oh, this person has a knockback 3. Nope, if I'm against a block, you can't do nothing, good sir. It could just be me that thinks that because I'm a kid, and to me it seems like the sort of thing, and maybe, but I feel like there are parents, my parents never did this, so it clearly seems like I feel like it shows a certain amount of respect to your kid for you to trust them not to, like, to text on their own, because, like, imagine if you have your parent breathing down your neck about every social interaction you make outside of school until you're, like, in high school. I mean, that just seems kind of ridiculous. And some of the parents I know that do this are incredibly nice people, and I like a lot of them. But it just seems sort of like you're not trusting it. You're not trusting your kid, and your kid is just not gonna know. Like, I feel like that's the sort of thing that would make your kid freak out when you're not looking through their text anymore. Because it's like, it's sort of the effect of like, hey, you're not allowed to have dessert. Well, now you want the cookie more. It's like, hey, well, I was going to look, I always, till now, I always looked through your texts, right? But now I'm not going to, so you can look through anything you want. That would make the kid way more inclined to not do it, whereas me, I never even gave it a second thought. I always knew that my parents weren't going to look through my texts, and I never thought that it would actually, like, and I never even thought twice about how, like, I never thought about it. It's like, it's such a thing that doesn't need to be a huge deal, but by taking it away, you make it a big deal, and it makes them more inclined for them to do those things that you didn't want to do when you no longer can look through their phone. Like, I never thought about doing drugs or anything like that, or like doing anything shady that my parents would for some reason think I was doing, and so they would look through my phone, but because they never even looked through my phone. But if I was a kid and I had my parents look through my phone all the time because of certain things, right, and then all of a sudden they were like, okay, now you have the freedom to do whatever you want, you'd be like, well, now I'm going to do something spectacular. Or not necessarily you would always do that, but it would make you more inclined to be like, I'm going to do something really great now because now I have the ability to do it. It seems like as a parent, by doing that, you're just sort of asking for trouble later down the line, whereas for now, hey, your kid seems nice. Then again, I know I'm like the most loosey-goosey person when it comes to like how parents should be, so like, you know, I probably am speaking for very few actual parents, and, you know, the many parents that clearly watch my videos every day. They're dead. Muy malo idea, okay? Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it and you want some more rants, then be sure to hit the like button down below. And, yeah, as always, peace out.